I'm from South Dakota, but I was living in St. Louis. And we went to South Dakota and came to Denver for a few days, and I saw the St. Stephen's Church sitting up on the hill. And I said, someday I want to live there, because my husband, the reason we came, my husband was going to look for a job here. So that was, I didn't even know it was North Glen. I just saw the church and thought that was kind of cool.
We came to Denver on our honeymoon and got jobs, came back 3 weeks later and lived here for a while, lived in Denver, and then one of my coworkers in the telephone company told me that North Glen was a place to buy a house. And so we looked at it and said yes, we would. That was in 1962. We had a 6-month-old baby girl, and it was quite a shock to see everything empty. We were so young that we didn't really realize that there would be no light bulbs, no curtain rods.
Yeah, you got to finish all that.
It was, but it was a great place to live. Everybody in the block moved in. We moved the U-shaped streets, and one U-shaped street moved in one side every week. And so everybody, all the neighbors were very new, had young kids or none at all. And so that's how we got to know everybody, by watering our lawns. It was quite an introduction to family life.
Well, I have 4 children, and they were all born before I moved to North Glen. Our baby was just about 11 months old, I guess, when we moved in. And so they went to Waco, and then Waco got too crowded, so they went split sessions for quite a few years. And my oldest daughter was the first year of Northeast Junior High, we called it then. And my youngest daughter went to 3 different elementary schools, even though we never moved from our house. She went to Waco, to Woodglen, because they got too crowded, so they moved the group over there, and then she went back to Mally. So it was, I don't know, I'm kind of like Judy. Everybody had kids in our neighborhood when we lived there. I don't know how many we had, but I think everybody had 3 or 4, and it was great. The neighborhood changed after a while, and the kids grew up, and we had 2 or 3 kids who moved back to the neighborhood after they became adults, so that was kind of cool.
Ended up with 3 children, each 2 years apart, 2 girls and a boy, and they went to Leroy grade school. I'm trying to say, it's still there. It just
North
went out.
Glen Middle
North
School.
Glen Middle School. Thank you.
Yeah.
North Glen Middle School and Thornton High School, because we lived in the Hat area that they didn't go to North Glen. They went to Thornton. And I ended up with a daughter that moved back to North Glen after being married for a few years, and her kids all went to Leroy and the North Glen Middle School too. So, and they went to Legacy. They didn't go to Thornton, but so they all lived. They had fun in the bike hills. They did not have as many organized sports. They found things to do, and there's the bike hills, which was over by the hill where east of Irma Street. There's nothing there at that time, and they called them the bike hills because they could go up and down the hills. And
Yeah, when we moved to North Glen, we lived on the west side of Irma, so there were no homes over on the east side. My husband used to change his oil and take it over to the field across the way and dump his oil. And then my kids, one of the things that they liked to do the most was when they cut the grass, you take it up to Carl's dairy, and they had fence there, and you could dump your grass over there for the cows to eat, and that was always a big deal.
my kids did some things here and everything, learned how to swim here, and at the time, North Glen High School had a swimming pool too, and so my middle daughter is the one that was on the swim team, and she really, in fact, she's still here, and she's doing the aquafit. Yes, all the classes here. So she's our dolphin, but I have done the exercise here for many, many years. Haven't done too much of it lately, but last year or so. But my daughter and I came here to do exercise classes, and she decided to start teaching, and I still went to the classes. So I did that for a long time.
I do. I actually moved from North Glen about a year ago, but I live in Broomfield, and I've been going to the Silver Sneakers exercise classes since 2007, and I just decided that I would just as soon stay here. And her daughter is the assistant at one of my classes I go to, and I didn't do much when I was younger with the rec center. The kids went to like their little preschool and stuff, but I started in 2007. I go 3 times a week. So,
oh really?
Even though once I moved, I thought, you know what? I like the teacher so well, and I like the people. I might as well stay here. And so I drive over here.
I really love the North Glen Mall. I thought I liked the inside mall the way it was before. It was a great place for the kids, and I belong to Leroy neighborhood, and see the people talk about the different places that they remember, and all my kids do. They all live close enough here that they still North Glen is still their home, and the home that I'm in, it was still the original, so I've never moved.
I had the privilege of serving on 2 or 3 North Glen committees, boards and stuff, and then I was elected to city council when I was in 1998, so I served 8 years as city council representing Ward 2. And it was really, really a fun experience of my life, I have to say. And I was on the NURA board when we were trying so hard to get the marketplace developed. I never saw the fruition of that until I got on council, and then we did see it, but we worked awfully hard on NURA to get it developed. And so those were some of my later memories of North Glen. I enjoyed it.